Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are back once again with the UCC. We are back once again for week number 4 of season 13 of the UCC. And as you can see, we're up against, by the lovely poster above me, we're up against the Whitby Wooloos, coached by Seb, who is making his debut in UCC this season. And I've played him before in previous leagues, but this is the first time in UCC. And before we get onto that video, after picking up one of these last week, we are now 1-2 so far. 1-1, lost 2 so far, and hopefully today we can bounce back and pick up another W, and move on with, getting towards playoffs and such. So, as you see by the lovely poster above me, he's got quite the scary team. His team is, wrong button. Pressing all the wrong buttons, guys. I'm so sorry. He's got Marshadow, Lipard, Comfy, Landorus Furion, Zangoose, Quillfish, Mega Venusaur, Mesprit, Toxtricity, G-Max, Galistopod, Turtonator, and Steelix. Now, in drafting, I want that Toxtricity, but after using my boy Morpeko, I'm glad he took the Toxtricity because I wouldn't have realised the power of Morpeko. But as you can see, he's got quite a scary team. Mainly that Marshadow, because that's the scariest thing on his team, not gonna lie. It's like it's not the top MVP killer of UCC history ever for a reason. It's only been since like season 5. So it's missed out on 4 seasons and it's still number 1 by like 20 places. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, I had to try and stop the Marshadow as much as possible. So what I did was first up for us, we have linked in our Indeed on that choice scarf with Psychic Surge. This is to allow Marshadow to not be able to Shadow Sneak us with Psychic Surge. We've also got a choice scarf at 120 speed to outspeed a Jolly or Timid or whatever, a timid Marshadow. Or Jolly Marshadow, yeah, Jolly Marshadow. So we can... Really can't hit us with any ghost type stab, so you can only hit us with a close combat, which will probably still kill us because our defense isn't that great. But we get Oko with a psychic in return. We've got Dazzling Gleam as well for the likes of the Lipard, which you're probably going to want to switch into this thing, or the Turtonator. We've also got Hyper Voice as well for additional stab, and we've got Shadow Ball as well for likes of the Mesprit and mainly the Mesprit really, if you want to switch in on this thing. So hopefully LinkedIn can help us in this week's game and help us pick up that tasty W, because I've liked using LinkedIn, not going to lie, the site and the Pokemon, because I don't know why, there's like some Mons on this team I've really liked using, like LinkedIn, Malfoy and Angry Alvin. Kind of dead rock, but not really. It's not my playstyle, not going to lie, but I'm going completely off track right now. But LinkedIn, I really hope using it. Hopefully it can help pick us some kills this week in our game. Next up, we've got our boy making his second debut on the team. We've got Colonel Harfy, our Copperaja G-Max. Leftovers with Sheer Force. Rocking Iron Head, Play Rough, Iron Defense, and Zen Headbutt. With 252 HP, 88 attack, 168 defense, Adamant Nature. Now, this was a very Jake build. Well, not really, because the plan with Copperaja was to send it out against the likes of, I don't know, the Comfey or something like that, and hopefully force him to switch out into Marshadow, putting an Iron Head or whatnot. So the plan is to get an Iron Defense up, so I can live a close combat from Marshadow at +2 defense with the this set, and then I can Oko over Play Rough in return. That was the main play for using this Mon. I've also got Iron Head as well, because obviously stab and can deal damage to likes of not much of it. Comfey, obviously, that's about it, to be honest. I don't think anything else is weak to steal on his team. Let me double check. Yeah, it's just a Comfey, so I mean it's there to potentially get up those hazards up again, like we did last week, which came in very, very clutch. We can only G-Max you one more time, Colonel Harfy. I don't know when it's going to be. If it's in this game or not, we'll just have to wait and see. We've also got Play Rough as well for the likes of the Marshadow, and we've got Zen Headbutt for the likes of the Mega Venusaur. if that wants to switch into this thing, which it probably will do, particularly Ironheads and whatnot. So hopefully Copperaggio can put in as much work as it did last week and help us pick up some W's in this week's game. Next up, we've got our fish, our Malfoy, our Dracovish, rocking Expert Belt with Water Absorb, rocking Psychic Fangs, Vicious Rend, Earthquake, and Ice Fang. I honestly don't know why I've brought it. It was Water Absorb. Why is it Water Absorb? I think in the game, because its only water type is Quillfish, so I don't know why I put Water Absorb on it. Well, apparently I wasn't. I was supposed to be obviously Strong Jaw with these moves, but apparently I didn't change on the team, so that could come and bite me. That could have bit me in the bum during the game. So hopefully, I can't remember the game because it was done like a couple of weeks ago, but hopefully that doesn't affect us in the game. But obviously we're Expert Belt with 212 HP, 252 attack, adamant nature with 44 in speed. This is to outspeed, min speed Mega Venusaur. So we can outspeed the Mega Venusaur and just click Psychic Fans and just go, eat it, knock it out. With Expert Belt Strong Jaw boosted, it should knock it out. We've also got Vicious Rend because that thing just hit like a truck. We've got Earthquake for the likes of the Toxtricity, which probably want to switch in onto this thing, or the Quillfish, or the Turtonator, not Turtonator, because why would Turtonator switch in on a water type? But like the Steelix and whatnot. And we've also got Ice Fang as well for the Landorus, who's more likely to switch in, and we can Oko. I think it still Okos even at -1 with the Expert Belt on it. If it's Strong Jaw boosted, it should do. If without it, I don't know. I just don't know. So hopefully that will come in clutch, and Malfoy can help us put in the work this week. Next up, we've got our boy Daddy Snom, our Frostmoth. Just basic set, really, because I need something to deal with the Landorus. And at +1, Quiver Dance, it does outspeed it unless he's a Choice Scarf Landorus, which I don't really see him bringing Choice Scarf Landorus because my team is really slow. So hopefully he doesn't bring that. He's probably going to bring bulky Stealth Rock Landorus, more than likely. So we've got Heavy Duty Boots to avoid that, to switch in. So we can just go in and just click Quiver Dance and then just go Ice Beam, Air Slash, Bug Buzz. Does work on his team, so hopefully Daddy Snom can help us pick up some kills this week. Next up, we've got Angry Alvin, our Morpeko with the Air Balloon, with Hunger Switch, rocking All Wheel, Ice Fang, Parting Shot, and Thunder Wave. So we've got kind of different on our Angry Alvin this week. After it getting 4 kills last week, it's here with Air Balloon to be able to go, oh, you're going to switch in, you're going to Earthquake me? Let me switch in to Angry Alvin. You can't Earthquake me. We can get an Ice Fang off on you. We should outspeed you unless you're a Choice Scarf set, because I think, what's Landorus's base speed? 91. So I think we outspeed it unless it's Choice Scarfed, if I've done my count correctly. I don't think I have, though. I think I need to be, I need to be, I don't know. I just went for a bog standard set on the last 3 because those first few were for specific mons to deal with the likes of the Venusaur and the obviously the Marshadow, and then the rest of his team I was like, okay, I need this, I'll just do normal set. So Aura Wheel is there to hit the likes of the, obviously the Zangoose, I think that's what we've got Luke to Electric, isn't it? And Glitterpod, sorry, and it's got Aura Wheel Dark type move for the likes of the Dark, which is that one, which is Mesprit. We've also got Thunder Wave to try and slow down the Marshadow and most of his mons. Obviously, we can't Thunder Wave the Toxtricity or the Landorus, but that should be okay. We've got Ice Fang for that, and we've got Parting Shot as well, because getting it to +1 speed and then Parting Shot out will very helpfully let us be able to switch into likes of Corsola or Dracovish and whatever, tee up a hit better, and then hit back, because he'll probably have to switch out being at -1 attack or special attack, and then we can play around with that in that respect. So hopefully Angry Alvin can put in the work as much as he did last week. And last but not least, we've got the boy that's come to pretty much every game so far. We've got Deadrock, our Galari and Corso with Evilite with Cursed Body, rocking max HP, max defense, bold nature to, because most of his main threats on his team are physical, barring the Mega Venusaur and the Toxtricity and the Turtonator and the Comfey. So, I mean, most of his team is I've gone max special defense bulk. I should have went for special bulk. Looking at it, because Colonel Harvey's a physical bulk, so I should have made this special bulk. So because I've got Shrimp Sap anyway, because Shrimp Sap's like the best move to put on Corsair Galarian form. I've got Stealth Rocks as well to get some hazard chip on it. I've got Nightshade, which is pretty bog standard for me to bring. This is pretty the most bog standard set, except I sometimes run Protect, sometimes run Destiny Bond, sometimes run Curse, sometimes run Will-O-Wisp, sometimes it doesn't get Toxic. If it did get Toxic, this button would be absolutely amazing, but it doesn't, unfortunately. So that's quite annoying. But Dead Rock is here. Hopefully it can be the stally boy we need it to be to help us pick up this W and become 2-2 instead of 1-3. Now it's time for the match. So let's hide that poster, click that button, and we are here. And as you can see, he's brought Comfey, Toxtricity, Zangoose, Landorus, Golisopod, and Marshadow. So no Mega Venusaur, which I thought was very interesting, especially because Mega Venusaur is just a bulky boy, and I honestly thought he'd bring Mega Venusaur. Expecting Landorus, we're expecting Marshadow, we're expecting Toxtricity. Golisopod, to be honest, with me bringing Indeedee and Morpeko quite often, I could have seen him bringing that. Comfey as well. Deals with Dracovish really well, deals with Morpeko really well, and the likes of Zangoose. I don't know. Maybe it's Zangoose is just knockoff, uses knockoff Corsola. I don't know. But I think I lead with Corsola on turn 1, if I remember correctly. He leans with Landorus, I lead with Corsola. Yep, there we go. Just trying to remember back. So U-turns out, as I think I get the Cursed Body off, which is very relevant. Goes into Zangoose, makes me to probably go for the likes of a Nightshade or something like that. But I go for the Stealth Rock to get my hazards up on the side of the field, because his only defogger, I do believe, is the Landorus. Unless one of those mons get Rab Spin, and I didn't even realise. Let me double check with that. Just don't want to be factual, you know. Removal. Comfey gets it as well, so I'm more likely to see the defog on the Landorus, so that's always good. So he reveals a Toxic Orb, so it's Toxic Boost. He goes for Knockoff, which completely was off my radar, thinking, Zangoose gets Knockoff easily. So why don't I switch out into likes of, I don't know, Copperager or something. I don't know. Try and keep my item, but I don't. So I get a Shrimp Sap him back up to full health. He's now -1 attack. So I go into Copperager, taking him to not switch out or something. But he goes for a Swords Dance, which is very unfortunate because I honestly didn't know what he's going to go for. So it was a good bring by him, obviously, to bring the Swords Dance for my Shrimp Sap Corsair, which is pretty much what I've been brought in most weeks. So it's a good play by him. He goes for Knockoff, which unfortunately does over 50% to my Elephant. But I go for the Iron Head, completely knock this thing out. Goodbye, Zangoose. But unfortunately now, Colonel Harvey's now at low health. I can't get off the Iron Defense tactic on the Marshadow because it'll die to it even at like 45%. So now I've got no leftovers anymore. Very impossible to get us back up to full health. So that's going to be quite an issue. So he goes into Landorus. I get the Intimidate drop off. As he goes for the defog, I stay in. I'll predict him to just go for the defog there. I didn't want to overthink it, thinking, he's probably going to U-turn out on me, predicting me to go into Morpeko or Indeedee or something. So I thought I'd stay in or switch down to Corsola again. So I didn't think I think there was no way he was going to go for an Earthquake. So I stayed in, clicked the Iron Head button. Rocks are gone, unfortunately, but I get some chip off on the Landorus. So I go into Corsola now, predicting him to put Stealth Rocks back up, which he does go for. As he U-turns out this turn and goes out back into Comfey, I think I go for the Shrimp Sap, just for GP really, general purposes. Go out to Colonel Harvey. He goes for Toxic, which is a fantastic play by me because I knew he'd go for Toxic, and I knew. No, I didn't. I just wanted to go out this thing to Iron Head it, really, and I knew. I don't think he got any moves that could really touch Colonel Harvey. So he goes back into Landorus, so I go for Iron Head again. So over time, with this, Colonel Harvey's going to eventually knock it out, but I decided to sack off Colonel Harvey this time, thinking he would U-turn out again, thinking, he's not going to stay in again, is he? So he's going to U-turn out this time, but he goes for the Earthquake, reads me really well. And then Copperager goes down. So now 5-5. I go into Indeedee, knowing that he does have U-turn. but knowing he's not choice scarfed, I know I outspeed it. So I go into LinkedIn, go for the Psychic, knocked out the Landorus, which was very, very crucial. So I could go down to Comfort to go back into Corsola, predicting, I don't know, because Psychic wouldn't have done that much because Comfort is quite especially bulky, right? I'm not making that up, am I? Yeah, it's got 110 special defense. Yeah, so it's quite especially defensively bulky. So I decided to switch out because Psychic wouldn't have done a lot to this thing, and I didn't really know what Comfort could have been rocking to hit. So I went out to this thing. Unfortunately, it toxic me, so I'm now toxic with no Eviolite. So not the best mon in the world. As he starts setting up Calm Minds, I going for Nightshades on this thing, trying to like whittle it down as much as possible. He goes for the toxic again, predicting me to switch out into probably more Pico, more than likely. So I don't know why he he must have thought I was going to switch out at that point. But why would I switch out at that point when I can just keep nightshading you, nightshading you, nightshading you, and knowing you couldn't really kill me? So I kept going for that. He keeps going for Calm Minds as I go for Nightshade again. He lives on 2% this time. But now he goes for Toxic again. And I'm thinking, why? Do you not have Draining Kiss? Draining Kiss would have killed me out flat. It would have gained up some more health. And then the only thing that really would outspeed you was probably more Pico. But your Training Kiss is priority now because of your ability. So that would have put in so much work against my team, barring against Indeedee, obviously. So I would have went into that thing. We probably lived the Psychic because you're now +2 special defense and you've got base 110 special defense. Lived the hit and probably would have swept with a Comfey, more than likely. Maybe not on Frostmoth because of Ice Scales, but I don't know. So I knocked out the Comfey. We're trading off with Corsola, so we're both down to. He's on 4 Mons. I've got 3 Mons. He goes into Glisopod. He can't. I don't know why I switched out. Because he couldn't lunge me, and I outsped it. So I could have went for like Psychic or something and done some chip on it, made it do emergency exit and get out of here. But that didn't happen. So I went to Malfoy, predicting him to, I don't know, knock off. He goes for knock off, knocks off my expert belt, which is quite annoying. So he goes out into his Mars Shadow as I go for a Fishious Rend, as it lives on 10%. He goes for the close combat on the Mars Shadow, revealing a Life Orb, so that goes down for Malfoy. So that's always a good thing to do. So that both go down. So we're just trading off Mons at this point. Out comes a Toxtricity against my Angry Alvin, really my Air Balloon. So I think he G-maxes this turn. He goes for the Boom Burst and just blows me back. I'm thinking, oh, okay. So this reveals that he must have been Choice Scarf for Toxtricity to outspeed me. So he brought Scarf Toxtricity. So I go into Frostmoth, predicting him to go for the likes of the... So I'm like, okay then. So he goes to G-Max Stun Shock, which does not a lot to me. So I go Flab Ice Beam. I get the freeze, which is very clutch right now. He falls out immediately. As I go for another Ice Beam, leaves it on 18%. But down goes the Frostmoth. So now, Indeedee comes in, and I'm banking on this thing to hopefully do the most. So I Dynamax my LinkedIn, just so I could live the hit from that thing. So I go for the Psychic. I knock this thing out, Max Mindstorm. And now out comes the Glisopod. But what I should have done, guys, was learning from experiences recently. When you Dynamax and you're Choice Scuffed, I thought your speed stayed the same, but you could switch out moves, which is why it was busted with Ditto and whatnot. But it's not. Basically, you lose the benefit of the Choice Scarf. So what I should have done, thinking about it, was I would have outsped it, because obviously he G-Max, so his Choice Scarf was null and void. So I would have outsped it. Psychic would have killed at that range, especially with Psychic Terrain Boost. I then would have had more health and was not poisoned. I would have then Dynamax against the Glisopod and then go for a Psychic Surge. And then hopefully that would have done more damage because it lived on 10%. Knockoff, I might have lived. I may have lived by being at a high health. Not being at not being at a higher health, I might have lived a knockoff, been able to knock this Gliscopod out because it lived on goddamn 10%, which is very unfortunate. And thinking about it, what I should have done was psychicked it when it was up against the Gliscopod, when it was out before, instead of struggling into Dracovish, because then it would have hopefully have gone down to at least 50% and got the switch out boost. It would have switched out, switched back in, and then I could have played around it that way. So I could have played that game better, but I don't think I could have played it worse. So GG to Seb in that game. So next week we're up against Sean and the Vienna Vibe Check, and our games don't get easier from down here. We've got to play Sean, and then we've got to play the week after that. We've got to play Jared again, who put in the work against us in week 1. So hopefully you can pick up some W's sooner rather than later. Otherwise, it's not going to be another season where we're mediocre at best or terrible. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure you smash the like button down below. Be subscribed if you're new around it and did enjoy the content. As always, leave any comments like helping me improve as a battler or improve as a YouTuber or anything like that. Let me know down in the comment section down below. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios!